Hey guys, I got something pretty cool today because we get to fix this Nintendo DS Lite. But before we do that, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button because I make tons of content just like this that you definitely do not want to miss. Let's get straight into the video. So guys, I got this Nintendo DS Lite in not working condition on eBay for $25, and I want to see if I can fix it back to fully working state from its broken state that it is in right now. So you can see that it's got this interesting label thing on it that says Nintendo DS. It's got some skin stuff going on, and it just looks like it needs a restoration. It needs a new life. We need to fix this thing. Finally. Didn't have a DS Lite, but now I finally get to use this because it didn't come with it. That's a little bit cruddy feeling in there. It looks like it might need to be cleaned out. We can do that. But let's just see if it turns off and if it turns on and if there's anything I can do to get it to turn on if it doesn't. So let's go ahead and see if we can turn this DS Lite on. It does not want to come on, but I do know that obviously they wouldn't sell it as 4 parts are not working if it didn't have a problem. So let's go ahead and see if we can fix this. So the number one thing I'm going to try, of course, is putting a new battery in it. Simple as that. So let's go ahead and get a screwdriver and get to work. So let's go ahead and open up the back on this Nintendo DS Lite. Yep, came right off. And let's see if we can get this out. Oh man, that is in there. Okay, took some work, but I got it loose. Man, that was in there. Not sure. It doesn't look very swollen or anything, but it doesn't look great. Just looks like there might be been some grime stuck to it, grinding against the walls of this. So let's go ahead and take a battery out of another DS Lite, and if that battery works in it. This one just came out so easily. So let's go ahead and put this one in. And let's see if that gives it the ability to turn on. Moment of truth. It's on, but that top screen does not look like it's very happy. On the bright side, we have a working bottom screen. Now let's see if the touch screen works. And guys, the touch screen is also working, so that's great. Let's go ahead and zip through this setup so I can show you guys more about the DS. And here we are. And that bottom screen doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. Might need to replace the touchscreen digitizer just because it has some scratches on it. Not sure if you can see, but it's definitely marked up. And now I just have to try a Game Boy game. I just need to know if this could be a Game Boy macro. Obviously, I'm not going to turn it into a Game Boy macro. I want this thing to be a working DS just for the fun of it. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Got Pokemon Leaf Green, and yes, it is a real copy. And start GBA game. Hopefully it doesn't start on the top. Yep, it's on the bottom. I know how to change that if it didn't, but, you know. Alright, so let's get in this bottom screen. Yeah, you can definitely see the scratches on a blacker background. You can see it's pretty scratched up. But we can totally fix that. Press start. Well, we've established that this is a fully working Game Boy, apparently, because all the buttons work, everything's working. Got my bike. Yep. It's a Game Boy for now, but we're going to fix this thing. So before we get into the procedures of fixing this device, I need to know if the DS games work. Obviously, the top screen doesn't work. I just need to know if it reads them. So let's go ahead and get my favorite series Pokemon games of all time. The 2-part games. Pokemon White, Black, White 2, and Black 2. My favorite all time. Let's go ahead and take these out. And let's put it in to the DS Lite. And see if it works. And it reads it, so we can go into it. Yep, it can read it. Even though it's not on the top screen, I don't even care. I just want it working. Is the C gear going to turn on in a second? Because I just clicked, yep, C gear. Still can't see what's going on the top, of course, but we got a C gear, man. Alright, so that works. It works. And let's see if that battery coming out issue was just on this. Yep, it looked like it was just on this battery. So whatever is going on with this battery, it was really hard to get out. This one comes out perfectly. And here are the plans for this device. blue shell. Obviously, it has all these plastic things on it right now, so it's not looking the most beautiful. So I'll take all that plastic off and it'll look great. But I think this is going to be a pretty cool project. Like, it looks nice already. Like, this is going to be a nice revival for this thing. And I have a top screen that we get to put in there too to help revive this thing. So, but yeah, let me go ahead and get into fixing this. So guys, here is the project. It is not fully done. I just went ahead and put all of the main stuff into this shell. And you can see that it looks pretty cool. Like, this looks really cool in my opinion. Like, that transparent blue, you can see all the components. And guys, well, it looks really cool and it looks sort of like it's finished. It's not quite done yet because there's still something I need to do. You can see on the top screen here, this is just basically this isn't going to stay here. I'm going to replace it with a different one. I'm going to replace it with this one. When I peel all of this plastic off, it'll look a lot better. But I did put in the new screen, so it does have a working screen now, and I'll just go ahead and turn it on and show you guys. And you can see that the DS is working. How good does that look? That looks awesome. So now here we are on the main screen. You can see everything is as it should be. Now there are a few quality improvements that I'm going to make. If you can tell, that is an extremely scratched up touchscreen. So the next thing I'm going to do is replace this touchscreen. That's why I haven't put in any of the things yet. If you look, I have not put in these 2 feet that go in these 2 holes because it is not quite done. So there will be more videos of this. So if you guys like this, make sure you stay tuned, because I have a lot more for this device. But, and another thing that needs to be fixed is it's not terrible, but the hinge, you can see it in there. It just doesn't work very well. You can see it's very wobbly. Like, let me show you actually. It's very movable when it's in a set state. So you hear that click. It's supposed to set there, but it doesn't. It's very wobbly. When I hold it down like this, it wants to fall, but it's not terrible. It definitely is going to need a new hinge for sure. And I got a hinge for it that is coming, and I got a new battery. Well, not a new battery, but its own battery, because this battery came out of another DS Lite. So I did not bother with putting the springs on these buttons yet because I am going to open it again, and once I do that, then I will fix that. You can see I did not line the white part right there underneath the motherboard. Once again, I will do that when I reopen it because I don't want to have to basically completely disassemble it. Just make it easier to get into for the second time. And then once we're done with the second time, I'll go ahead and seal it all up like it's supposed to be. And this will be a fully working, basically new DS that came out of this. It's been in tough living. This volume connector that was on the DS before wouldn't even work on the motherboard because there was so much dust in there. So now that it's clean, this thing is basically like new, and I'm really happy that it worked to fix this. I'm probably going to sand down the connections to the A, B, X, Y buttons and the D-pad, because they do not click completely right. They work, they all work, but you do have to put some more pressure on the A button, for example, than any of the other ones. The A button takes a little bit more pressure. It's not a lot, but it is noticeable. I noticed that if I push it to the left and click, it doesn't have that issue. But I was actually looking at the motherboard and suspected that that would be an issue because there was like residue on there that I couldn't get off. I got all the dust out of this console and everything with a toothbrush, tried, scrubbing all the dust off and everything. I was not able to get the residue off of the button pieces. I think it's from the pads that are underneath it. So if you look under, you can see there's a pad under there, and underneath that there's a black piece. And I think after rubbing off on that, it has rubbed onto the gold points. So I think I'm going to sand those down a little bit with some sandpaper when I reopen it to put the new hinge and the new touchscreen in there. And then once I do that, this thing will basically be new. And that's really cool because it didn't even work when I got it. So this was an awesome project to work on with you guys, but it's not even done, so make sure you guys stay tuned because there's a lot more videos of this coming up. So guys, this is my 4K subscriber special. Thank you guys so much for 4,000 subscribers. I wanted to do something cool. We got this project and even more to come in the future. So if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel because I make tons of content just like this that you definitely do not want to miss. I'll see you guys in the next one.